Welcome back to the show, everyone. Craig here. No Jonah. That's kind of one of the reasons why I'm doing this video a little different. This will hopefully be shorter, and it's not going to be an official episode. Um, so the last episode that Jonah and I recorded was episode 200. That was our sort of our um, big episode on other acts. Um, it took a lot of energy kind of getting that one put together, and then there's been a lot of um, response to it, comments and stuff like that. So we've been busy with that, and then Jonah has been out of town for work, and we toyed with setting up like a Zoom where he would call in, but the logistics didn't work, and so the question was what to do about this weekend. We did release episode 201, which was on this past Wednesday, was an interview we did with a friend of ours, Jeannie. Jeannie's a non-Catholic, former Catholic, but non-Catholic podcaster who talks a lot about marital intimacy and things like that. Not from a Catholic perspective, but from a Christian's perspective. And and especially for couples that are, let's say, just a little older than me, post menopause. We're knocking on the door. We're trying. Um, but so in it really was a conversation about female pleasure, the female body. It's not for everyone, but I think you'll find it interesting, especially as Joan and I talk more and more in the coming weeks about other acts, what the church teaches, why it teaches it, the potential rationale, and how sort of the unique and sometimes mysterious happenings of the female body can inform us on that. So if you haven't already checked out episode 200, of course, go check that out, or episode 201, I'd encourage you to do so. Um, and just as a recap to episode 200, we are very much looking for people that might be willing to come on, or if people have resources, videos, things that you think might really help shed more light on the issue, feel free to send those to us. Send us suggested names. We've reached out to folks like Trent Horn or whatever, and have gotten so far have been unsuccessful. Um, but so the I would say the two key areas that we're looking for help on are what does in fact the church teach, and where does it teach one way or another about other acts. Number two, whatever the church teaches, why does it teach that? What's the kind of reasoning and rationale behind it? Sort of related to that, what are if the view is that other acts are wrong, what what if anything is the harm that can come to marriages because of it? We're very much open to talking to just about anyone as long as they're, let's say, reasonably credentialed and willing to have a respectful dialogue. We are not looking for people that necessarily look at things the way we do. We're not looking for people that either steadfastly support one version of the church teaching or another, but we do want to carry on this conversation because we think it is very, very important, and that there is some inconsistency out there as to what the church says about it. So we are continuing to request um, suggestions or names of people that might be willing to come on and talk about those things with us. I will say, related to that, on, let's see, I think it's March 16th, I'm scheduled to do an interview with a gentleman who I think would very comfortably be described as a traditionalist, and I would say a very traditionalist guy. Um, and he's showed up into to our comments recently. He and I have kind of gone back and forth, but I think it's been very respectful. And he very much pushed back on suggestions we've made that the church's teaching on some of these things is not all that clear or persuasive. And so he's going to come on, and I think we're going to talk about Casti Connubii, some of the, he has significant issues with Humani Vitae. I think he will come on and say that natural family planning is evil. It's no different than contraception. So that should be an um, interesting conversation. I guess we both kind of have a sort of a hate relationship with natural family planning, albeit for very different reasons. So that should be a very fun conversation. Um, and so anyway, stay tuned for that. We are going on Kevin Tradicath's channel. We had him on our show a few weeks ago. Not sure the episode number. Probably it's in the late 190s. I'll link to that below. Um, and we're going on his show, and I believe it will be a live show. Um, don't quote me on that, but that's going to be on March 18th. I think it's around 4:30 p.m. Central Time. Um, if we get confirmation of that, we'll certainly share the link. But I'd encourage you to go over and check out his channel. Now, be aware Kevin is a former Catholic, former traditional Catholic who, as the name suggests, is former, but has some very interesting and at times I wouldn't say compelling, but thought-provoking content on many of the things that we believe as Catholics and sometimes take for granted. So he has been very, very respectful to, let's say, current or existing Catholics. I think you'll find his channel worthwhile to check out. But I'm going to link to his show below. I'd encourage you at a bare minimum to go subscribe to his channel so that you can get on the notification if it's going to be a live feed. I'd encourage any of our listeners or followers that can be available. Like I said, I think it's March 18th. It's a Monday at like 4:30 p.m. Central Time. Love to have you show up in the chat. That's always fun. So stay tuned for that. But if you do get a chance, go out and check out Kevin's channel and see what he has to say. Number see, I think maybe I skipped this, but going back to episode 200, I told you we're looking for people that will come on and talk about what the church says. In case I didn't emphasize this enough, we are especially looking forward to looking for people that could come on and talk about the reasoning, the rationale for whatever position you hold on this. We'd like to hear people give a compelling argument for their position beyond simply, well, here's what the church says in this encyclical or this code of canon law. That's all good and dandy, but if you have something beyond that to say, well, here, let me show from natural law, or let me show from reason and experience why that's a good teaching, we would love to hear that and have a dialogue with you about that. So if you haven't already done so, we've started a newsletter. We've only kind of sent out a couple of issues. Really encourage you, if you're willing to share your email address or make up an email address so you can get on our mailing list. That's going to be the primary way for us to kind of let you know what's going on with the show. That's how I can let you know, for example, we're going to go on Kevin's channel, so give you the link and all that kind of stuff. There'll be sort of bonus material in there that I think people will find interesting. All it costs you is your email. We're not going to sell it or do anything else with it. I can't promise you that it's only going to be the newsletter. If I think there's something worth sharing, we may email you, but it's literally going to be once or twice a week. Okay. So I really encourage you, if you would, just to go down to the description below. There'll be a link to our MailChimp account where you can get on our email list. You always have the right to unsubscribe. Every email will have a little thing at the bottom where you can unsubscribe it if you don't like it. The newsletter tends to come out around 10 o'clock a.m. Central on Friday mornings. So just a word of reminder, if you signed up and you haven't gotten it, go check your spam folder. A lot of times these things get caught in spam the first time, so you just have to let your email account know that it's okay to receive this stuff. Um, so I do really, really encourage people to go down and check out our newsletter. Um, we we really have a lot of stuff to share, and people have shared with us that maybe doesn't work its way into a video, but it's literally one email a week that I think you'll find worth opening and seeing if there's anything in there for you. On that front, if there's anyone that would like to help support the show, not financially, but just as a volunteer, we have some opportunities for people. As it is right now, just so you know, it's me and Jonah, we record, and then pretty much the rest of the background stuff, scheduling, emailing, um, all that kind of stuff, preparing shorts and reels, it falls on my shoulders, which I'm happy to do. I've actually hired a part-time assistant to do some of that for me, which is helpful. But my biggest time, my biggest constraint is time, quite honestly, and I'm not necessarily all that good at that stuff. So if there's anyone out there that feels, you know what, I would like to help support the content of this channel, things such as maybe you'd really like to help with the newsletter or do like a proofreading of the newsletter. Um, we have some minor video editing, preparing descriptions, hashtags, things like that. If that's the kind of stuff that you think you might like doing, just send us an email. Email us unchartedcatholicman@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We can train you. We can train you on the video editing. It's actually very easy. Um, but those kinds of things that, maybe someone has an hour or two a week can really help promote the show and help it reach more people. Because I sort of have a certain amount of time that I'm able to devote to this between my regular day job and having a large family. It's just there's only so much of Craig to go around. So if that's of interest to you, maybe think about that, pray about it, and just reach out to us. Just email us unchartedcatholicman@gmail.com. We'd love to talk to you. Finally, and again, this is why you want to be on the newsletter. We have a Discord channel, and I have hesitated to advertise that in part because what tends to happen with a lot of these channels is they turn into a big fiasco. Um, and I don't want that to happen here. But one of the things that really compelled me to do this podcast was some of the stuff that I talk about, Jonah and I talk about and struggle with, really was something that I thought if there's a forum out there of some sort where people can discuss and share anonymously, um, I would really like to have that, and I looked at ways to create that, and I kind of reached out to friends and close friends of mine, men that I know, and they're just never got anywhere with it. We kind of now have that, and actually, we had a listener to the show enter recently who said, "Hey, I've been looking for a forum, and and this is exactly what I've been looking for." So the forum is going to be on a sort of a requested invite basis, or if someone that is a listener to the show is already part of the forum, wants to vouch for someone. um I'm kind of let people in, but we will kick people out very quickly. Here's what we're looking for: men or women who, and you don't have to be Catholic, don't have to be married, but are willing to come in and engage on these things, and listen and share. Doesn't mean we all have to disagree, all have to agree. um and But if you're willing to come in and discuss and share and agree and disagree and support, um please consider joining the Discord channel. um Here's what I want to avoid. Nothing against the trads, but if you come into this and all you're going to do is tell everyone that you're going to hell because you don't follow Casti Kanubi or whatever. Um, Again, I'm not saying everyone has to agree, but there's going to be a fine line between disagreeing and being kind of a judgmental prick. I'm not going to let any judgmental pricks in the Discord feed, so there'll be a quick hook for those kinds of things. So if you're only interested in joining it is so you can come in and um, preach to the sinners and whatever. Maybe this isn't the place for you. So anyway, but for everyone else, for people that actually like this content or like the discussions going on, not that you agree with everything that we say, our guests say, but you appreciate the content and feel like you would like to be more deeply involved in those discussions. Um, Best way, I guess I would say again, is email unchartedcatholicman@gmail.com and then just put in the subject line um, Discord request or forum request. And probably what we'll do is we'll have some email exchange and I'll just ask you, you don't have to say who you are um, or anything like that, but give us a little information about you and kind of why you want to be in. If you email us from, let's say, a personal account where your name was identified, realize that I don't tell anyone else about the stuff that comes into the email account. We do have an assistant that helps, but she keeps all of that confidential. So if you come in and you want to email from an account that bears your name, you're still welcome to join the Discord. You can create a pseudonym and avatar and all that. I will not tell anyone who you are. Your secret is safe with me, so to speak. So, if you want to get a hold of us, um, I will I will honor that confidence as it goes to the emails so that you can share with us without having to go out and create some brand new email just for this. So, want to throw that out there, and that really goes for anything. So, we get a lot of messages from people, really humbling emails from people that are struggling in their marriages, people that are getting ready to get married and are struggling with kind of what to expect and all this. Um, People with porn and masturbation addictions, things like that, sexless marriages. Like it's very humbling to have people reach out to us, and we do our best. When I say we, usually it's me and then Jonah and I will kind of roundtable the issue, and sometimes we'll respond by email, sometimes we'll do a short video, but um, please keep sharing those with us. I'm not a magician. I don't have all the answers, but we do have a lot of experience, and maybe it's nothing more than just offering some comfort and support and some prayers for you. Um, so please do feel free to reach out to us, unchartedcatholicman@gmail.com. We'll have that in the link below. So anyway, well, I don't know how long I rambled on here, but I hope this finds everyone well. We should be resuming regular content this coming week. I'm hoping that Joan and I will be able to get together and record a video before Wednesday, but if not, if all else fails, we'll definitely have episode 202 out by the following Sunday. So I think this is going to come out on March 10th. So like March 17th or whatever. We'll definitely have a new video for you guys. But anyway, thanks for listening, everyone. Please get on our newsletter. Please pray for us. Get into the comments on our YouTube videos. Share. We really enjoy that. So and until next time, everyone, have a good one.